Ready?
Yes,
For what?
for interview.
For interview. Why?
I've been called.
Who?
They just shouted my name and said come out.
So maybe you don't want to?
Well, how can I contact my mother in another way?
No way.
They'll call, say I'm a missing person.
Maybe.
Well, I won't want that.
And what if she refuses to talk to you like it was with one guy yesterday?
Only God knows until we find out. Until we try, we won't know.
Do you voluntarily consent to the recording and publication of this conversation?
Yes, sure.
Why do you need this?
I don't understand.
Let's think. Let's turn
Maybe
to
it's
God.
for history. Maybe it's for, we'll talk and I'll be posted somewhere,
Yes, it will be on YouTube.
right?
Well, what does this mean for history?
Well, we will talk, you will ask questions, I will answer.
Why don't you tell it like that so I don't ask any questions at all?
But then I need to understand what needs to be told.
Is autobiography a familiar word to you?
Yes?
Let's start with the autobiography. And then you can tell us your whole story from the beginning. Whatever you think is necessary.
Let's start with the autobiography.
Well, yes, we should know about you, your family, who you are.
Okay, then.
Without details, without any addresses, because YouTube doesn't like that.
Fine. I lived there for 11 years. After that, we moved to Tula. Lived in Tula, studied. After 9th grade, I go accepted to be a cook. Studied for 3 years and strove for an independent life. Work, studied, then work started to pay off. I abandoned my studies. So I didn't finish. I didn't get my degree. I was expelled. I worked on a construction site as a regular fact tech and deliver and handyman. Then I got to the foreman and had 3 terms of 4 people. I didn't work myself. They just gave me object there. I brought people to the objects, explained what to do. I was involved in procurement and materials. Received money for each person.
How much did you get paid?
250 rubles per person per day. That is, they gave me 2,000 rubles per person. I got 250 rubles. But people knew. I informed them that I give you work and I take 250 rubles from you. You get 1,750 rubles per day.
Uh-huh.
They paid every 2 days. That is, you came today, worked, came tomorrow, and got paid for yesterday. Because the contingent was either irresponsible students or alcoholics who received money and disappeared. Later, I transferred the guys to weekly pay. I worked like that for about 6 months.
How much money did you make per month?
I earned somewhere between 40 and 50,000 because my elders would also throw in some extra money. That is, they would throw in some extra money. I paid for the apartment and there was enough for living expenses, for cigarettes. I wasn't rich, but there was something to eat.
You say that you started earning and abandoned your studies. Where did you start earning?
I started earning money. I cleaned metal. We cleaned metal for farm structures. That is, large hangars for farms.
Uh-huh.
They brought beams, let's say 16 or 19 meters, well, about 20 meters of beam, all in rust, in dirt. They gave a grinder a disc.
Uh-huh.
They were dressed completely from head to toe. Helmets, glasses, gloves. And so we cleaned. We worked like slave labor. Minimum 18 hours. The longest I worked was 42 hours. Between breaks, I slept for 2 hours when I changed with my partners.
And how much did they pay for this work?
A lot. I earned about 120,000 rubles per month. But let's say I could make it in a week. We had a weekly calculation, 8 days. I earned 25,000 for 8 days. The minimum I got paid was 16, 18 there, but we just didn't have time to turn in the order. And they paid quite well.
Uh-huh.
I saw that there would be some career progression there. I worked and forgot about studying. I remember I was sitting in class when I got my first salary of 990,000 rubles. And I realized that you have to put your time there. I could make money there and education is not required. Then we started getting screwed out of money there.
I've been waiting for this moment because...
It was clear to you. The power of your experience. We started getting screwed out of money.
How much did they end up owing?
A little. I knocked out almost all my money and there are other guys who were with me. That is, I was like the eldest. I had a list. Every day I reported how many people were working. I got almost all the money except for 8,000 rubles. And so I was nagging them every day. I kept coming and saying that I have 3 men who are old enough to be my fathers, and they have 3 children each. Need money, need money. They told me no money, no money.
And who was the leader there?
I never seen a leader in my life.
Well, okay, who was talking to you?
He talked to me. What was his name?
Give me his name.
I think his name was Nikita, if my memory serves me
Russian.
right. Yes, Russian. But he treated me with humanity because he sometimes gave money of his own. And for all I know, we were close enough, and he didn't live rich. They could have given him a little extra money there. They could have underpaid him, and we saw it with our own eyes.
I see. Construction, what happened
So-
next? Autobiography.
After the construction, I worked at the food court. That is, I made hot dogs, brewed coffee. I worked quite a bit for several years with the same person. I wasn't cheated there, I wasn't lied to there. Just that at some point I realized that I wanted something higher more, and I say that's it. I'm leaving work.
How much did you earn there?
From 2,000 per day, that's the minimum. It was like a salary, so to speak. And plus a percentage of the proceeds. I was a very sociable person. I got along well with children. That is, I sold it easily. Let's say they came and say they wanted 1 scoop of ice cream. I say, why do you need 1 for 120 when you can have 2 for 200? I start showing like this one, and when the child says I want it, mom and dad won't refuse. That is, I sold it through a child, and I didn't make anyone worse.
I see. What happened next?
I left the food court, and life gave me a man as I left. Life gave me a man who had money. I said, let's open a coffee shop together. I'll invest the money, and you'll study to be a barista. Barista, you know?
Uh-huh. No, what is
A
this?
barista is a person who brews coffee and works in a coffee shop.
Do you need to study for
You
it?
should study to be a barista because it's a whole science. I didn't really get into it. Let's say I didn't know that coffee is a berry. Brazilian and different roasts of coffee have different flavors. So, for me, it was just a sour, bitter taste, but people understood that there was a spicy taste here, a nutty taste here, a vanilla taste here, and there's another one, so
Tell everyone the difference between Arabica and Robusta.
Arabica and Robusta.
I don't know myself.
Arabica is more natural, I don't remember exactly. I'm not going to lie and I'm not going to make it up. I remember that the coffee I took was 90% Arabica and 10% Robusta. Robusta is some kind of artificial additive in my opinion, I won't lie.
I see. What happened next?
Then I went to my parents' house in the village. I lived with my mom for a while because there was no work, nothing. I took this mini holiday. Here a friend from Moscow comes to visit me, a pretty close friend whom I haven't seen for about 6 months. He left for Moscow with nothing, just naked. He left to conquer. He arrived and said there was crypto arbitrage, P2P.
What is this?
Let's say we bought dollars through Uzbekistan and sold them simply on Binance and Garantax. We bought them for 90 rubles, sold them for 92 rubles. That's the difference between 2 rubles. He found investments of about 3-5 million, bought me computer. I sat there all day doing this. On my best day, I earned 36,000. On average, I earned 5-8,000 a day. So, I lived in Moscow for about 6-7 months. The crypto was dying, resurrecting, but there was enough money to live for a month or 2 without work. It turns out that crypto began to die slowly. I realized that I can no longer be in Moscow, pay for the apartment. There is less and less money on the balance. I accept the choice to go back to Tula. I came to Tula and got a job at a shoe dry cleaner. I worked at a shoe dry cleaner, cleaned shoes, and found some love in it. Not that I clean shoes, but that I don't just take a pair, sew up them and throw them away. But you sit, you work with the pair, you clean them, you see what they were like, and then how you give them to the guest. That's the difference. These are the emotions. Many people have asked me if it's embracing for you to clean someone else's shoes.
How much did they pay?
For a couple, for one, let's say I received from 200 to 350 rubles.
How much per day do you need?
5 couples at a leisurely pace. Cleaned a couple, sat down, smoked, went on Instagram, chatted, went out, bought a shawarma, came back. Yield of 5 pairs minimum. It happened that I did 10 pairs and lay down right there to sleep for 2-3 hours.
In short, there were a ton of shoes.
There were a lot of orders. There were a ton of shoes because the clients I was already working with brought me 8-10 pairs. That is, they brought 8, I did everything. I gave them, they gave me another 10. So, I don't know, I really tried to find the closest connection with the client. Why are you going? I'll bring it home myself. Just tell me the address and the time I need to come. That's it. I brought it to people. People were shocked by the service. Like, well...
Yeah. When was that already?
They started in November. Well, since November. Then a friend suggested the idea of throwing parties. We brought a rapper very little known. I don't even remember his nickname. I won't lie honestly. I know his name was Toma. We brought him, paid him 50,000 rubles there, and had a party. Well, we hung out, but I didn't like it. I stopped being in that scene. I worked in a shoe dry cleaner. After that, I had disagreements with the owner of the shoe dry cleaner. For him, what I did was already a given. I was doing more than the norm, which turned into the norm. More demand, less praise, ingratitude, no one's side. And that's it. We didn't find a common language. We parted ways peacefully, without swearing, without quarrels. We kept in touch later. I even visited him sometimes. Hi, how are you? How is life? After that, crypto appeared again. One of my friends in Turkey, another one is in Georgia. I checked what the rate was due to the fact that there, I don't know, maybe different time zones, maybe something else. In Georgia, it was a ruble cheaper than in Turkey. And in Turkey, it's a ruble more expensive. Let's say you could buy for 91 and sell for 92. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm lying. A friend found an exchanger that sold very cheaply. But not always. Sometimes it was higher than the rate. But mostly it was cheaper than the ruble rate. That is, if...
How did you explain to yourself why this is so, if Tether always has the same rate? 1 USDT equals $1.
Well, it depends. Let's say if you buy at the exchange office for 1,000,000 ruble, there will be one rate, but if you buy for 1,000 ruble, there will be another rate.
It's clear.
The difference is simply in how much you buy. And we were interested because we had investor capital and we worked constantly. I took cards from all my friends in order to work, because if you work on one card, it gets blocked. If you work on this one day, work on this one tomorrow, work on this one the day after tomorrow. I didn't break the law in any way.
Violated everything completely.
Did I violate it?
Yes.
Why?
Because you weren't allowed to do it. You didn't have a license to do it. You didn't pay taxes. And what were you doing essentially? If you're talking arbitration.
Arbitration?
Arbitration. What is it?
Well, it bought and sold.
Financial assets.
Yes.
What is needed for this?
Well, probably licenses and permits, as you said.
Yes. You did it as a fraud. Essentially, using other people's bank cards.
I had everything done by proxy.
Excellent. Well, that is, let's call it that's another. You used droppers. You were the dropper who...
Well, they say so, guys, that the word drop, I say that I don't like this word, so I call them partner. I say, why drop? I say I'm not laundering black money through you that we stole.
What does drop and black money have to do with it?
Well, it's just that for me, in my understanding, a drop is somehow offensive. I call it partner. I say, well, that's all.
When the word accomplice is also so bad.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Partner sounds better.
Well, yes.
Partner in murder.
No.
Yes?
Well, yes, I understand what you mean. Well, I'm saying that when there were problems with the law, it was without a
How
lawyer.
much did you give?
For what?
For problems
Not
with
at
the
all,
law.
nothing.
And how much did your
Not
friend
a
give?
ruble. We brought deals, we showed that we have crypto.
I think you just don't know everything.
No. Why? He would say that I bought it out or something because we had common capital. That
I
is,
think you just don't know everything. Yeah. Well, I won't interrupt any further. I apologize.
And that's it. And so I worked in crypto, and
How much did you earn like that?
well, 80,000, that's in Tula.
How much money did you spend to make 80,000?
Turnover?
Yes, 80,000.
600,000 ruble. Less than a million. There wasn't even a million, because such amounts are
Were any
already...
cards with money blocked?
Yes, my Sberbank is blocked.
How many were there?
There was... On my Sberbank, I don't remember. A little. Then I unblocked it while I withdrew money, about 100,000 rubles. But let's say I took a shots card.
Partner Ashot's cards.
Yes. He has 200,000 in Sberbank.
Blocked.
Yes, I have 120,000 rubles blocked at Raiffeisenbank.
Still?
Still.
We'll unblock it now.
No.
Can we withdraw cash?
No. I tried all the ways. I went to the bank with lawyers and
You didn't contact us.
here I have it on my personal Raiffeisenbank, 120,000 rubles.
Great. So I suggest we wrap up the interview because we have more priority tasks and goals. 120,000 is only $1,500. I pay money for 50,000 rubles for position. The largest payment was 50,000 USDT. Is that a lot?
Enough.
Enough.
50,000 is that about 500,000 rubles.
Yes. In Tier C20. Do you know?
Tier C20, code Tier C20.
This is not a code. Everything you need to know about the level crypto trader who speaks on the TRC20 blockchain code.
That's what we called it among ourselves.
Everything you need to know about crypto
Send
trading.
me your Tier C20 code, you can use it to transfer to the spot wallet.
What is the code for TRC20?
I'm saying that we just call it that among themselves. There was a TRC-20 there, and then they started using numbers and letters.
This is a wallet.
Yes, yes.
What does the code have to do
Well,
with it?
we are like
what
this.
difference about TRC-20 from ERC-20?
I don't know about that. We translated...
You're a crypto trader.
No, I'm not a trader. I didn't call myself
You're
a trader.
lying. You said it was...
P2P arbitration.
Well, what is arbitration essentially?
I just bought currency, sold currency.
Zolkin and I are against such investments. Before investing somewhere in crypto, ask your partners. Yes? That's what is called. Crypto traders. A few words. What is blockchain?
Blockchain is an exchange, in my opinion.
It would be better if you didn't ask. In the eyes of everyone who trusted you with money, with
But I
every
didn't
question
remain in
I
debt
ask,
to any investor.
for now. And the block cards?
Yes.
Or did you give them away as
Oh,
your
no,
own?
naturally, everything is by agreement.
You traded and traded. Good. Yes, you traded. They blocked your cards.
That's it, and I probably worked like that for a very long time. A year exactly. That was after
Do you know why you weren't unblocked? Tell people.
they didn't unblock me without explaining the reason. That's what Sberbank replied. Raiffeisenbank.
You're lying.
Without explanation.
No.
Federal Law 115 has blocked me. Federal Law 115.
What does it say?
Illegal circulation of funds.
Guess what I told you 8 minutes ago, dude.
The problem I have is that if I had access to the account, I could show the trades. That would be...
Why did Binance block you?
Binance, you just log into your account, it takes you out of your account and you can't log in
That's
anymore.
right. There's an explanation why you were blocked.
I can't say that.
Everything you need to know about crypto trading.
I'm not saying what it is, I'm just telling you what I was
I'm telling you,
doing.
this is an illegal thing. Using other people's cards. Binance isn't an idiot either, so yes. Zolkin and I are against it. But we'll discuss 120,000.
Fine.
Yes, further.
After that, I was out of work for a long time. Can I have a smoke?
One by one. I got it first.
Fine.
We simply suffocate.
Yes, no problem.
I still have things to do. I have 120,000 soon.
God willing. Well,
God won't give it. God will give other things. A laptop, a phone.
Okay.
There is no God there.
Well, it turns out I worked like this for a long time. Little by little, we earned little by little, penny by penny. We had something to live on. At some point, I just stopped. Left Moscow. No connection with people who do this. I don't know any new connections, so-called crypto. How can you do that? The contact with people is broken. Many people amongst themselves, we had 10 people there. They were cheating each other out of money, cheating, and that's it. It's gone. And then this guy from the coffee shop offered it to me again, just for no reason. He called, come over. I came. He said, let's try to launch it again. How are you? He said, tell me how you were doing it first. And then he immediately told me, he says, the purpose of my calling you is that I want to try a launch with you again. But a little bit differently now. Now I'll tell you everything. We talked, I told him everything. He says, okay, well done. Let's try, besides coffee, pizza, rolls, and sushi. So he says, I have a cook. He already had pizza, rolls, and sushi. It was already working, bringing in money. I looked at everything on orders, how many orders, where the orders are coming from, and whether there are regular customers. I finished my studies, worked in the kitchen for a week or two. I told him that the kitchen is not really my thing, but I can do it through force. But I didn't like it. I didn't have a heart for it. I told him straight out. I said that I don't feel like it, so it would be better to send me to the tire shop during the season. That's how I said it. He says, okay, make coffee, help in the kitchen as an administrator. That is, take the order and assign each cook what to do.
Well, of course. We all know what an
I
administrator
was
is.
doing this business. I worked for a long time. I didn't get any pleasure from it. I had money, but I didn't get any pleasure from it. That is, I went up to him the same way, say that I didn't want to continue, got ready and left. We parted on normal terms, friendly, without any problems. Any problems.
Further.
That is, then for a long time I was without a job, without anything, and there was nothing to rent a flat for, so I moved out. I thought, what can I do? I was involved in sports as a child. I started taking lessons from friends. I knew how to teach punches.
Uh-huh.
It was already 23, the end of summer, closer to November, but it was still not very cold outside. Took pause, jump ropes, set up a strike.
You train in short.
I trained. I realized that this is what I like, that my soul lies in it. I want to go to university. I say I want to enroll, get a trainer's certificate, then I can train people. What do I need for this? They told me, look, you have 9 grades, you can take the exams for the 11th grade here. I said, okay, about 120,000. No, I lied, about 200,000 rubles a year or per half year. Per year. This is a big university.
I understand that the tuition fee is 200,000.
About a year.
Yes.
I say, okay, I got that. They say, 3rd year military ID. Give it to me. I say I don't have a military ID. They say, how so? I say I didn't serve. They say, we can take you because if you join us now, the military registration and enlistment office will come to you and immediately take you into military service. And you will get a year's deferment, and for this year we will take a person who has a military ID and he will study. I say, okay, I understand you. And I came what to do. I need money for 4 years of study. I need a military ID. I think I'll go to urgent service. That way I'll only get a military ID in a year. If I sign a contract for a special military operation, then I will be able to collect money and get a military ID. In my understanding, maybe because of my experience, maybe something else, there was no such thing as me going to kill people this whole war. Realization of war I haven't arrived here yet. I didn't understand. There was no understanding. So it turns out I started looking for where it would be best for me to sign a contract. Read forums, look, search, there are soldiers' wives, they write somewhere something else. I realized that the shortest contract is with Ahmad, and it's easier.
Ahmad shows.
Ahmad, yes.
Yeah. Have you at least seen Qatar?
On TV. Not in real life.
Have you seen Abti?
Abti, no.
Have you seen any bearded ones?
I saw a lot.
Why don't they fight?
I don't know, I didn't ask.
We will get there because there are people like you who must.
Yes, it's already been explained to me. So I started to find out how to do it. I mean, you just had to come here. I came to Grozny, signed a contract, and that was it.
Let's start from the beginning. There's an interesting story here. What city were you
To
in?
Grozny.
No.
In Tula.
In Tula. How did you end up in Grozny?
I bought a plane ticket.
Have you already contacted Grozny there?
I called there and asked what I needed.
They say come.
They say, have you been to prison? I say, no. They say, do you have a military ID? I say, no. They say, okay. I waited 2 minutes. They say, okay, we'll figure it out with the military ID. Well, I say, I need a military ID. They say, for 4 months of service, you will get a military ID.
Uh-huh.
Because the days go by after 3. That is, services.
Cool.
And it will be that I have served a year of military service and I will have a military ID.
Cool scam. I've never heard anything like that. Will you understand that it's a scam, right?
Met people who actually received a military ID.
In 4 months?
For 3. Previously, there was a 3-month contract.
It doesn't work. Should be 9 months.
They give.
Maybe.
So I was talking to a person like this, and he told me, well, I have a military ID. I ended up in Lysychansk.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there in Lysychansk, they divided us. That is, I arrived there with my guys, with whom I had already met, and we thought that we would be together. We got there to 1-to-1 distribution to Lysychansk. We were divided into different groups. So I stayed there for another 5 or 6 days. Then they came to us and said, let's pack your things, get ready, you're going to the front line there on a combat mission. I said, okay, we packed our things and left. I lived in a pipe or something.
When was this?
This is it. It was the 25th, January 25th. On January 25th, I lived in a pipe and carried provision. That is, when they asked me if I wanted to go on the assault, I said no, I have no experience, I want to leave and I don't understand anything about it. They told me, okay, you're short, your job will be to carry bags of provisions, that is, food that they give to eat. I said, okay. I wore it for 2 days and lived for 2 days. During this time, I carried several bags. That is, I carried them and they were transported somewhere else. Then unknown commander comes, not my commander, and says, you, and you, go to the position. I'm in shock, in horror. I don't understand how I should go to what position. He said that you're going to the position of our guys. Our guys will be there.
Ahmad.
No, mobilized. There will be mobilized troops there, and you will simply sit in this position, reporting every hour how you are doing.
A clear task.
I say, I got it. Okay, it sounds safe. We gather. The first group comes out of the pipe. They drop ammunition. 2 wounded.
Fine.
So I think they will hardly let us go there. They will tell us why, where. They will say, let's wait it out. They tell us, go into battle. Already at that moment, there was a kind of despair inside. You realize that it's okay, the commander is the commander, that is, and you go. I went out of the pipe. A sniper was working on us. A machine gun was working on us. Ran to the position. The drone was constantly flying, dropping 5 grenades. That's it. But everything is fine. I forgot to add, we had a guide. That's it.
What about these 2 wounded?
They were evacuated. They crawled out on their own. They could
4
crawl.
people came out, 2 were wounded, and there 2 of you went down.
No. They were in their own group. There were 4 or 5 of them.
This
is another group.
Yeah.
It didn't concern us. I didn't see them at all. I saw them when I already heard the explosion in the pipe, and I heard them screaming, crawling. That's it. They sent us away in 5 minutes. Or maybe more than 5 minutes, I'm talking approximately. They sent us, we got out, the snipers worked, the drones worked all night. The guide was tasked to climb out of the pipe, pass our position, that is how our position is, and we go to our position. For some reason he remained in this position where our people were already. There was one of our guys there, with whom I was taken prisoner. So he was there alone. They told me that I needed to take him with me. I said, okay. I come, I say so-and-so, who is Alexei here? He says it's me in this position. The guide says, well, wait out the night here because there's a copter, a drone, and a sniper. It's not safe for us to go. I say, okay, but we didn't have any radios. We didn't even have a group commander. Right? The radio
Why do you need it? Well, let's move
I
on.
found the radio in the briefcase. I found it in the briefcase and clicked through all the channels. No one answered anything. No answer.
In which briefcase?
It's just that when I was climbing out of the pipe, there was a briefcase with a sleeping bag lying around. I lost my briefcase with a sleeping bag in the pipe. And that's all. And there he stayed. I climbed out and saw a briefcase with a sleeping bag. I took it because it might have been wounded.
Or the deceased.
Or deceased.
Looting it in your blood.
Well,
Yes.
when I came to the position, I asked whose briefcase and so on.
Further.
I realized that it was none of theirs. I took it and covered myself with the sleeping bag. The guide said we are not going anywhere. He said wait until the morning. In the morning we wake up. He says 2 minutes to get ready. We roll up our sleeping bags and go out. We roll out sleeping bags. While I'm packing my sleeping bag, I raise my head. The guide is gone. He ran away.
Fine.
So, some other mobilized guy comes running with a radio. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you in your position? Our guys are waiting for you there. Get there immediately. When you get there, take the radio and tell them you've arrived. They explain that here it is, our position. They take you straight out into the street, pointing to the building. They say you need to run into this building, but there will be 2 snipers and a machine gun working on you. You need to run. So, okay. We went out, looked around how to run, where to run. That's it. 4 people gathered. We ran out. Snipers and machine guns start working. The bullet just flew by. I could just hear the whistle of the bullets around me. Bullets. I lay down on the ground. I hear guys get up. They're speaking Russian. I get up, run into the building where our position is. I see a dugout. I jumped into the dugout. That's where Alexei was sitting. We sat in the dugout together. The drone was flying, dropping, but it didn't hit anything. All the weapons in my backpack crashed, all the weapons in shrapnel. I've already lost my things. That is everything I had. Then a grenade flies in and another one. I understand that the guys probably don't understand that we are our own. They think that this is an assault. I go out and say, guys, I'm one of us. They tell me, yes, one of us, come in. I go in, they throw down the weapons, twist me, take me away. These were not ours. We came to your position. And at your position, they took me captive.
Who took you captive?
Team Nike.
Team Nike? What division is this? Team Nike, you guys are awesome.
What was it like in captivity?
This is no longer interesting.
In fact, they treated us humanly and in a human way. That is, they brewed tea and gave us some lozenges.
When did you tell your mom and dad that you were going to war?
A week had passed since I signed the contract.
What did they tell you?
They were terrified.
What?
Huh?
Why?
Well, they probably understood what was going on there. And they tried to support me morally, but my mother was absolutely horrified, and my father too. When I told them, it was a shock for them.